Your thoughts on those numbers I just shared and all that guaranteed good stuff?
He deserves it. He deserves it. I mean, because it's not, when you're a winner and you're a leader, what people need to understand is that, and I often say this to people, it's not just about your talent, your abilities, not even just about your accomplishments. Remember, you're paid for that. But the primary reason you're also paid is that you're trustworthy. So when you look at a Tom Brady, you might have seen what you saw last year. If you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you still think that's somewhat of an upgrade because he's not turning the football over. Then you take the other intangibles into consideration: his leadership, his habits, his regimen, his commitment to excellence, his devotion and commitment to winning, what he's going to strive to give you every single day. He decides that he's going to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and what do you hear? You immediately hear reports of a multitude of players that suddenly want to go to Tampa to play with him. Why? Listen to Tampa Bay Buccaneers talking about him coming on board. Why are they talking that way? Because they say and they speak about what they can learn from him. They know they have ability. They know that they can play, but they've never really won. And the intangibles that he could potentially bring to the table is something everybody is interested in gravitating towards because there are tricks of the trade that he's in a position to teach you because he's done what you've never done. And he's trustworthy. He's trusted enough to be willing to commit himself to doing just that. Those are the kind of things that matter. And that's what you're paying for if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I actually don't see the contract the way you do, Molly. I presume, as you do, that he had a ton of leverage for, versus Tampa. But I think he actually signed a pretty team-friendly deal. When you look at the overall, I know the $50 million is guaranteed, but we're talking about such short horizons, 2 years. So, even if the bottom were to fall out, he's at the very least a mentor to a guy the following season. The fact that he has no tag and all that stuff suggests he wants to play past this contract, right? He doesn't want them to tag him. He thinks he's going to sign another one maybe. So, yeah, there's some give there from Tampa. But, guys, the bottom line is even if he hits all his bonuses, he's under 30 a year. The top quarterbacks are getting over 30 a year. And with Brady, it's not just the level of production, which I still think is middle class or upper middle class, though it's not elite anymore, especially when you look at the weapons he has around him. He should be able to put up some yards and some touchdowns, even if it won't be elite. But it's also what Stephen A. just said. You're importing culture and a way of doing things and an example, not to mention the attractiveness of other players. If only saying, I played with Tom Brady, I played with the GOAT. So for all those reasons, for him to come in at under 30 a year on a 2-year deal seems to me like a team-friendly deal, probably intentionally designed that way because Brady still wants to win and knows he needs more around him. I got to say, the way he's handled this exit from the Patriots and the choices he's made subsequently say very good things about where Tom Brady's head is.
Listen, when I look at this deal, I have to agree with Max. This is a great deal for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, let's think about if we had 3 quarterbacks. If we said we're going to go Tom Brady, Ryan Tannehill, and Kirk Cousins, for instance, and you look at those guys, and now you look at the deals that they got. Kirk got 2-year extension for $66 million. Ryan Tannehill deal, it comes in at around $29 million a year. And now you get Brady. And when you hear the $50 million, you're going to start to think, oh, my goodness, he got $50 million. But they expect him to play out this contract, to be their starter for the next 2 years. This deal is still team-friendly. And when you look at what some of the top quarterbacks in this league are getting, when you think about the guys like Russell Wilson, this isn't close to what those guys are netting. And so for Tom Brady, he signed a deal in a place where there is no state income tax. He signed a deal that the team can still go out and add some pieces if they need something on defense, if you need to add to the running game, if you want to add protection. But Max is exactly right when he says you are importing culture. That is important. I lived a lifetime of hating Tom Brady. As good as we were on defense in Pittsburgh, it seemed like every time we went with what we knew, Tom Brady could figure it out and beat us. The one year we were able to dominate, we had to change everything we did as the Pittsburgh Steelers defensively to beat him. In my last year, I got to practice with Tom Brady in training camp, and I got to watch him and listen to him coach. And when a guy would stop short on an outside comeback and go 14 instead of 15, watch him go over to that guy right now at practice and get it fixed, get it straight. That is what you are importing. You're not only getting a starting quarterback, you're getting a winning culture. You're getting a guy that knows how to teach that culture and live that culture. This is a great deal for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it shows once again Tom Brady's awareness, his commitment to winning, and his understanding of this game. He took a deal where you can continue to build a team because he wants to win and continue being that team's quarterback going forward.
And that's exactly where I was going to go, Ryan, because we're assuming a lot of people right there might assume this is what Tampa offered him, rather than assume it's what he accepted so he could help them field a better team, like all three of us have pointed out. That's the greatness of Tom Brady. Tom Brady wants money, but he's never prioritized being the highest paid or anything like that in his entire career. It's never fazed him. His contract has been restructured. He's taken pay cuts. He's done a multitude of things, all in the interest of facilitating winning. And this is what he is showing. Nothing has changed in that regard, which to me, you could make the argument, if you're Bill Belichick, how do you look right now? Because this is a guy that's basically saying, I wanted to move on. I wanted to be treated better. I'm not trying to compromise you in order to do it. So why should you ever want him to leave? Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.